right, y'all, this is a fairly old story. Not too old because it's 2026. But I wanted to go ahead and read it to you anyway. It shouldn't take that long. This is something that is going to be my theme for the year. Anytime I find these stories, I'm going to share them with you so that you can look into this and understand what's coming. So, without further ado, we're going to get into the story. Even if you prefer to browse store aisles and pick out produce yourself, there's a chance you'll turn to online ordering once in a while. Whether your schedule is suddenly packed to the brim, you want to send a family member to their favorite game day treats, or you need to order sick day essentials without getting out of bed, online grocery orders can be a helpful tool to ensure you get the items you need. This influx of pickup and delivery orders has given retailers the task of streamlining the process to shorten wait times and improve the overall customer experience. And many are rising to the occasion. Last year, Walmart shared its plans to speed up orders with multiple new operations, including in-home, which allows your groceries to be dropped directly inside your home. Now, Walmart is in the process of opening new stores to keep up with demand, but these locations aren't expected to be open to the public. You can't shop them, but they'll affect your shopping. Walmart already has over 4,000 stores across the U.S., and now the retail giant is adding even more locations to its ever-growing list. However, these new sites have one key difference. You cannot go inside. According to USA Today, the new stores, also referred to as dark stores, are expected to pop up in select areas such as Dallas and near the company's headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. For those unfamiliar, a dark store is a location that houses inventory but is closed to the public. Inside, the stores may look similar to a regular Walmart, but the goal is not to welcome customers. The stores are meant to expedite the online ordering process, acting as mini distribution centers filled with the most commonly ordered products. And Walmart isn't the only one. In recent years, other retailers, including Whole Foods and Kroger, have opened dark stores as companies scramble to meet growing demand. In addition to the new stores, Walmart is also increasing its capacity with new technology. Last year, the retailer revamped 42 distribution centers with new technology that can better track and move products through the pipeline, allowing centers to process more inventory than ever before. Plus, Walmart recently announced an expansion of its drone delivery service, the next step in a multi-phase project that will connect consumers with the products they need in record time. So what's in it for Walmart customers? A faster shopping experience that doesn't make delivery wait times feel like an inconvenience. In a recent letter to shareholders, Walmart CEO Doug McMillon said the company plans to expand its delivery access to reach 95% of the U.S. population in less than 3 hours, a feat the retailer has already achieved in some international markets. At this time, there's no official word on whether more dark stores will be opening. However, considering Walmart's commitment to customers, from adding new fast food chain partners to introducing a grocery line that rivals Trader Joe's to adding food court options like Costco, we expect more updates from the retailer in the near future. I'm not here to be a hypocrite. I've shopped online and had stuff delivered to my house. In part because most of the time when I'm sick, I don't want to be that selfish person out getting other people sick. You all know the 20th century and back, if you wanted groceries, you either had to go to the store and get the stuff when you're sick, or before grocery stores, rely on your neighbors or the local mercantile, things like that. There were no drones to drop it at your house. There was no one to deliver it. Now, Schwann's is the exception to that rule. You could get a membership with Schwann's and some other food companies before Amazon and all these other conglomerates, and you could get gourmet foods, but that was expensive. Even for that time, that was spendy. So here's the thing, okay? In theory, this sounds good because if I'm sick and don't feel well, I can have stuff dropped off at my house. Let's be fair. I live on a dead end street. So if stuff gets dropped off successfully, pending that the driver don't take a picture and pretend to sit the stuff down, then put it back in their vehicle, because some drivers do this. This has been proven. Not all of you. Most of the time it's porch pirates, okay? My stuff isn't going to get stolen. So what happens if in the future, if you live in a neighborhood where stuff is easily pilfered, you couldn't be at home at the time, but you had no choice but to put your groceries out because now this is the new system? What happens when you live in a neighborhood that they don't want to deliver to you at all, so you would need to go to a store? Because how are you going to go to a store if there's no store to go to, but you live in a neighborhood that's so unsafe that no one could deliver their butter drone? And drones right now don't have the capacity to carry 8 or 9 bags of groceries. At the most, it can probably carry 2. And even then, if it dropped it on your porch, your neighbor's going to see it and it's going to be gone in 60 seconds or less because you live in a less than desirable neighborhood. What happens if, no matter what neighborhood you're living in and you successfully get all your stuff, you go through the stuff that was sent to you based on a dark store, whether it was delivered by someone or a drone dropped it, and once you open that pack of ground beef and get into it, you are about to cook it, in the middle is rotted. Or you get some produce that nobody bothered to check it, they just threw it in your bag. And it's also rotted. Or you get some milk or buttermilk or something, and you look at it and discover that you were the unlucky recipient to get expired milk. If the store is closed, how are you going to dispute that? See, that moment of silence is to give you all time to think, because in theory and in reality as well, this dark store thing actually works. Because I'm the type person, when I'm sick, I don't want to go out and give it to people. So if something can be dropped at my doorstep and I live on a dead end street, it's a win-win for me and for the retailer. But I harbor no illusion that everybody has this. And there's a time when I lived in neighborhoods that were so bad, pizza delivery guys and girls couldn't go deliver pizza where I lived. We had to go pick it up. So I also know that isolation feeling where no one can help you based on the neighborhood you're living in circumstances that as a child you can't control. You see, if you spend your money on something, ideally you should be able to go and dispute it, right? But this dark store ain't gonna let you do that. And this is why I told you all in a previous video about my 2026 predictions that you should want, and I repeat, want to be able to tangibly touch your perishable foods, non-perishable stuff. The chances of you getting something expired are very slim because some of that stuff lasts for a while. I still think you should learn how to can stuff if you can, but I digress. This ain't that conversation right now. Understand that this is going to be more common than you think. I don't shop at Walmart. I'm not here to badmouth them either. I think from a standpoint, this is kind of a good idea. I know that's going to turn some people off. Like I said, if you're sick or you got extenuating circumstances like somebody passed away and you're the only breadwinner in the house, or your car is broken down but you still have the means to get food, this is the best way to do it. Extenuating circumstances make this a good thing, right? Retailers don't fool me. We know the real reason this is happening. See, rumors about us getting beef from out of the country, which we've been doing for a while. Some of our produce, like pineapple, don't mostly grow in the continental United States. Things we like, avocados, we get from Mexico and stuff. See, there's this thing, and here's one of the reasons I think this is going to happen. And this is me going more conspiratorial now. I gave you the reality. Now I'm going to go conspiratorial. You know and understand flash mobs, right? Right now, cowards of all kinds, different races and backgrounds are going into stores. I don't care who you are. If you went into store flash mob and you are a coward, who come in big groups and at one time snatch and steal material things like Louis bags and all that, Lululemon, all those places have been robbed in flash mobs. In the direction that the United States of America is going, these retailers who sell food know what time it is. When times get tough, people tighten their wallets on material things, even if it's counterfeit or was stolen. There are people starving in the United States as we speak now, in the free world where no one should be starving. Guess what's going to happen when their material things no longer have value because people need it, but they're starving? They were going to start flash mobbing grocery stores. So what did these retailers decide to do? Let's go ahead and tighten things now and make distribution centers. That way, if you show up in our parking lot and we were not aware you were coming, we could have you arrested on the spot. Because a dark store is not a place that you can go flash mob, because you can only get inside if you work there or have some business with that dark store. See, y'all don't see the coincidences with all of these stores closing. Oh, this bankruptcy, that bankruptcy. I'm not entirely sure and entirely convinced that all of these were bankruptcies or just failures. I think they're going to open some more of these stores in master planned communities. And if you can go shop in a store, you're going to have to prove you belonged in that neighborhood. It would not be easy to flash mob a master planned community because there's going to be surveillance everywhere. Just like you cannot mask up and decide you're going to go on a flash mob and rob these dark stores. See, Walmart sells more than food, but I'm already seeing grocery stores, certain ones in my area, increasing their driver presence. They're going to use Google Maps or whatever to know where you live to drop things off so that they don't take the chance. So you, who's a legitimate shopper who would never do that, is going to actually have to either be in your local co-op or grow your own stuff or know the farmers. Because they're going to hide behind flash mobs to not let you in. These people aren't dumb. Starvation's coming to this nation. And I'm not saying Walmart knows that. Let me make that disclaimer. What I'm telling you is that when people stop flash mobbing materials, they're going to start trying to flash mob food. These food retailers or anyone carrying any form of food you can shop are not dumb. If you have readily available grocery stores where people can just walk in, they're going to flash mob those stores and take what they want and hurry up. Now, the one I shop at, for example, the main two that I go to shop, police is just right down the street. So it's nothing for them to swarm that place. But it's still easy to dark store the one location that I go to. Because they already got the trucks lined up. It's all a matter of when they're going to say something about it. They're going to hide behind flash mobs and starvation as a reason to shut these stores. Because if you don't work there, you have no business in the parking lot and no business on the premises. Unless, of course, you're like me and some of our grocery store chains have its own gas stations as well. Walmart is just the start of the success of this, but this is going to become an issue. And I'm going to continue to beat on this dead horse when it comes to these dark stores. Because starving people will start to flash mob food when no one wants their material goods anymore. Mark my word, I'm not trying to scare you. This is a prediction of what I think is going to happen. All right. It's good talking to y'all. Y'all are wonderful. We're just into 2026. It's already hectic, chaotic, and crazy. Hope you're doing something for your mental and physical health. Y'all have a great day.